Hey,
Scotch lovers.
It's Scotch for Dummies.
Welcome to Thursday Night Scotch Club with the Scotch for Dummies.
We're happy to be here.
That's right, we are happy to be here. And as a reminder, we are the Four Dummies, but
and we're happy to have you here.
We ain't smart.
No,
well, I am, but these guys aren't.
yeah. Quick shout out, say
I'm
thanks to
smart, but I'm not
all the
good at
subscribers and everybody that comments. We really appreciate that. Tonight we are going to get into the Glenlivet
Blue box.
Founders Reserve 1824. So I said the Glenlivet. I think a lot of you know what that means, and some of you don't. It's because way back when George Smith is the first guy to actually obtain a license under the 1823 excise tax law.
In 1824.
And he got it in 1824. So anyway, this is a Founders Reserve. It's supposedly the blue bottle, or the blue case box and bottle is to throw a shout out to him.
We've sampled this already, but we did this for our Scotch mixers review. So
it's an NAS. What is it? 40%. I'm assuming it's got to be right.
40% alcohol.
40% Speyside, obviously. Anyway,
$35 to $40 a bottle.
Quick story about the Glenlivet is because he's the first guy to get a license. He starts distilling liquor. It gets pretty popular. He calls it Glenlivet. By the 1850s, there's like 20 other people in the region that are all making Scotch, and they're calling theirs Glenlivet too.
I would have been
popular. So by like 1850, I think, or something like that, he has to actually go and take it to court, and they actually said that, you know, he is the Glenlivet and nobody else can use that. So I guess since then they're allowed to use the word Glen in a suffix, but
not the.
Yeah, that's why Glenlivet says they're the Glenlivet. Whatever. Anyway,
good for him.
So, not the pretenders.
Right. Now, anyway, Glenlivet. A little bit more about them. They're huge, right? They're
one of the largest.
One of the largest. I think one of our subscribers said that the largest. McKellen, I think, has more liquor and casks under a roof, but it's
either way.
They're big.
They're big, right? They're popular. They're global,
and you're going to see their stuff.
And they're in every freaking restaurant, grocery store. I mean, Glenlivet is there always there.
$35 to $40, I think, is what it's going for, at least in the Indianapolis market. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Founders Reserve.
Founders Reserve.
All right.
1824.
Let's see what it's got.
What's it smell like?
Scotch.
It is like Scotch.
Yeah, I got some apples in there.
Do you
a little
really?
toffee, a little toffee.
It's a lighter.
What is that? What is that?
No smoke. It's not surprising. It's a space. Right?
A little perfumey.
I get a little honey.
Fragrances.
Hey,
It's got that florally spring quality to it.
Yep.
Right? Nice light color.
Probably not any 150 in there. So we don't have a. We didn't do deep research and find out what the average age of this Scotch coming into this is. So, but you know,
I think I read that it said that the theory was that Glenlivet was going to use this to replace the 12-year, their Glenlivet 12. I don't know if I believe that, because that's probably a pretty popular entry-level Glenlivet.
Yeah, that's a good Scotch.
But it's also following suit, and it's a popular thing in Europe to go with the NAS, and they're trying to break into the U.S. market. I mean, there's some good NASs. Hey, we've had some good NASs.
Yeah.
But I don't know
Get some bread on that
if
one.
it's
The
sticking.
malt. The malt's coming through and kind of finish.
I still haven't.
Middle
I
palate finish.
haven't identified
It's
the
got a
nose.
little bit
You
of
know
burn
what?
on the nose.
I got a little citrus on the first sip. Little lemon and orange zest. But it's still got that lighter quality to it.
I hate to say, I can smell like fabric softener, like dryer
Well,
sheets.
there's a floral. I mean,
That's
yeah.
right.
That's like a dryer sheet fabric softener.
Did you wipe your glass out the wrong
Yeah,
That's quite the compliment you got there.
Use my.
I got like an almond toffee, like a concentrate.
Should put some water.
Like not a sweet, but just the richness of it.
I do get some of that malt sweetness too.
Yeah, kind of in the mid to back in
rough though.
That's there.
Almond is rough.
Yeah.
It's got some edge to it.
Yeah,
Not gonna lie, some of that alcohol burn.
There's hardly any finish for me.
Is this 40?
Really quick.
Yeah.
It's got a little more alcohol burn than I would have anticipated.
Right. Now that's something to mention. I think it was the Whiskey Exchange. I was reading some of the notes on it, and I guess according to the master distiller, he prefers this with a few cubes. So
a little bit of ice, yeah.
A little bit of ice to chill it down, and that's the guy that's responsible for making it. So I don't know if you can argue that, but we don't have any ice to put on it. But I'll try some water here in a second.
The water kind of kills it.
At 40%, you almost kind of expect
Well,
that.
and it's not a rich, full-bodied Scotch, so any water is going to dilute it out. Now, what I need to do is learn to pull out what flavors are left. They should be slightly different. I was reading an article this week on the rationale of why the water changes the flavor so much, and it's really around a lot of the hydrophobic aromatics and things that are in there that will clump up when it's still at the high alcohol content. Once you have the water, some of those can kind of fall apart and open up new flavors and new aromatics and come out of it. But
he is smart.
so you do
He is
smart.
you do have to kind of find the right alcohol or the right water content for your palate, and that's varies between which Scotch you want.
Right.
I'm
You
getting
know
more
what, I got,
grass. I'm getting more
with
grass
the
out
water.
of my nose, yeah.
God, I'm like, yep. That's the first thing. I shut my eyes and stuck my nose in it after I put the water in it.
Freshly
and
cut lawn.
Yeah, I was like, wow, that
You know
smells
what I
great.
got? I got a little bit of orange too.
Yeah, I got
On the
orange.
smell and on the taste now.
I get orange and like it's
that
lemon, but
grass,
it's not
can't
like
get over
lemon.
You don't
It's
like
like
grass?
lemon grass.
No, I just can't
Lemon
get
grass.
past
That's
it.
a good one, yes.
Ta-da! There's my thing for this one.
Lemongrass.
Surprised he doesn't have some in his pocket. He's like, you guys want to taste it?
I got some out from there's some out in the garden.
But there is.
Probably
Yeah.
not live though.
Not a big
Why would you doubt
You
it?
got who's starting numbers?
You are, man.
Me?
You're up, brother,
All right.
man.
What?
Yep.
I thought I'd pass
That's how that works.
All right. I was trying to push
Pass
it
it
around.
back.
It
I'll
seems
go
like I
first
always
then.
start. but-
I can go
No, I'll
first.
go. All right. Glenlivet, the Glenlivet Founders Reserve. This is a light Scotch. It's good summer Scotch. It is. I would like to. It'd be interesting to try it with a rock. I mean, you could. I'm afraid with a rock and as it dissolves and dilutes, it would almost become nothing to me in my preference of flavors. I'm gonna give this probably. It's a good 2. I mean, it's definitely not off-putting. There aren't any. I don't get any of the alcohol harshness that they get out of it. It's pleasant. It's not particularly complex. I think you definitely pull out distinct flavors out of it with the apples. I just get on the first nose. It's a little greener, grassy once you add the water. So it's a 2. It's a lighter, not as full-bodied Scotch
It is a
for
space
$35. I mean, it's granted you can get the same. We always say it's Johnny Black for 35.
different.
But,
But it's
different
very
size.
different
Completely
flavor.
different
This
style
is a
Scotch,
light,
sure.
a fresh, the space side. I would give it a 2. Yeah.
You know, I agree with you. This is not a bad Scotch at all. $40. It is kind of a middle of the road Scotch though. I mean, nothing special about it. It's tasty. It's got that orange zesty, lemongrass, earthy, a little bit earthy, and it's easy to drink. I don't mind it at all for $40. I mean, I think it's worth $40 if you're going to spend money on it. It depends on your palate, what you're trying to go for, obviously.
Yep.
But I agree with you. I think it's a solid 2. I wouldn't go any more than 2, but it's a middle of the road 2.
Yep.
All right.
Break it down for me.
I'm having a little trouble with this one. Neat, it wasn't too bad. I got some citrus, there's some honey, there's some floral on the nose. On the palate, it's a little bit rough. I got a little rough edges on it. It was hot to me for 40%. And, normally 40% I can,
Right.
whatever. You got to get up to 60 before I bat an eye, really.
60s.
But at 40, normally I'm like, yeah, this, whatever. But this had some rough edges to it, I thought. The water kind of tamed everything down a little bit, but there's a little bit left on the nose. I do get some of that lemongrass, which is kind of a nice, different sort of nose to it. But there really wasn't much left of the sweeter, lighter flavors. I lost all that malt sweetness. I lost that honey. So I wasn't really a big fan of it with the water on it.
Yeah, the water wasn't great.
$35, $40. It's a pretty good buy. I'm gonna give it a 1.5.
Boom.
I didn't think
Drop
that
the bomb.
I was waffling. 1.5 with the water,
Boom.
2 without it. I'm gonna give it a 1.5.
All right. I'm going to start off with a 1.5. I was going 1.5 all the way. I don't think it was any more than that. And I'm not saying that in a negative way. It's $35-40, so it's not about, I mean, if you want to have a Scotch for $35, sure. It's NAS.
Put it on your,
But,
put it on the bar.
The Scotch were retired. He's not
I know.
doing
What
yours
happened to
anymore.
the old Scotch whore? I used to give
You know
everything
what?
a 3.
It was good mixed with stuff.
I think it's moved into my, I think I've been
You may be doing
I
that.
may be the new guy. Yeah.
Neat. I
Catchy.
thought it was rough. The nose, it was
Not the
okay,
rough.
but neat. I
You
didn't
get a
care if it
different
was
side of
just
the
a little
bar.
bit rough. Put the water on it, and it did get grassy on the nose, which I just didn't really care for. I'm not saying it's off-putting. It's just not what I
It's a little
like.
different.
It's
Not in your wheelhouse.
Right. It's not my wheelhouse. There you go.
Get you some lemongrass.
But then even on the palate,
Yeah.
with the water, it just
It's
there
not
wasn't
much
much there. It was so it wasn't as rough. It was a little smoother, but that's about all. You know, I was
Right.
like, what's so. It just didn't give me anything, guys. I'm not saying it's a 1.5 because it's bad. I'm saying it's a 1.5 because I didn't get anything that I liked out of it. I didn't get anything I didn't like out of it. I just to give 2 and plus, it's got to have something that makes me say,
Well,
yeah,
that
I'm gonna
makes
go have a
sense.
glass of that.
It's a drinkable
Yeah.
Scotch, but nothing
Sure,
going
it's a drink,
crazy.
but if you're gonna
Right.
pour one, I'm
Sure.
not gonna pour it out in the drain. But if you give me 40
I don't know that
bucks,
we've ever done that.
you know what?
Well, I have one.
You give me 40
Yeah.
bucks, I think I can get a bottle of Monkey Shoulder for 40 bucks.
Oh,
If
yeah.
you're paying $40, you're getting ripped
I'm
off.
killing that, right? Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I got
We're
enough
gonna do
left over
2
for a
bottles of
stogie,
it.
right? So 1.5 for me, and not bad.
I
but,
honestly, I think those are average scores. I think decent scores for what we're talking
All right.
about here.
Yep.
So 175.
1.75 it is, guys. 2
That's
2.
it.
The Glenlivet Founders Reserve.
18,
Done.
24.
Cheers.
1824.
Thanks for watching.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Comment. Love the comments. We're running behind on them. We're trying to catch up. It's
Yep.
hard.
We'll get to it as soon as we can.
We're trying.
Thanks for watching.
We need an intern.